Okay, we are recording. And it's only 7:01, but give it a moment here. Okay, I lost a little box on the side. There we go. Okay. Here comes somebody. All right, for everybody joining in, I'm making sure you're a contributor so that you eventually, if you need to ask questions or want to be seen, you can turn your camera on, you can speak if necessary. So just want to make sure everybody knows as they're coming in. We're going to get started in just a moment here. Thank you for joining us. Okay, Maria, are you ready? There she is.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. All right, Maria, I think we're going to get started. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. You're here for the What to Expect When You Apply to Distinguished Young Woman Scholarship Program at Michigan. And hosting tonight is our 2020 Distinguished Young Woman from Michigan, Miss Maria Fields.
Hi, everyone. It is nice to meet you guys, and I'm excited to be back to go through this wonderful program and all the great things that you can expect. And please feel free to prepare your questions and ask them because I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. So with that, we will get started for what you can expect for when you apply to Distinguished Young Women of Michigan. Okay, so a little bit more about me. So as it was already mentioned, I was the Distinguished Young Woman of Michigan in 2020, which was also the year that I graduated. So as we all know, that was when COVID first started. So when I participated in nationals, it was virtual, and I can talk more about my experience on the next slide with that. But I'm currently a student at the University of Michigan in the College of Engineering. I'm majoring in industrial and operations engineering, and I have a double minor in computer science and community action and social change. And I'm originally from Grosse Pointe, which is from the Detroit area within Michigan. And then Victoria, if you want to introduce yourself really quickly.
Okay, my camera's not working. I'm really struggling with this right now. But hi, guys. I'm Victoria. I'm currently the Distinguished Young Woman of Michigan. And I'm so glad that you all are here today. I'm currently at The Ohio State University, and I am majoring in aviation engineering. And thank you for having me.
Okay, so first to start off with is just congratulations with applying to be a representative of your community for Distinguished Young Women for the class of 2024. So a lot comes with that, and there's a lot of different opportunities that you'll be able to share with each other and also just for yourself and building yourself up, including like getting ready for the college process, as well as just like your general resume. Like I was able to include the Distinguished Young Women as like one of my achievements for when I was like applying to college. It's still something that's been relevant like while I was in college in terms of like using the scholarships to pay for classes that I took over the summer. And it's just a really great network to be a part of. And like clearly, as you can see, 4 years later, I'm still very much a part of the community, and I've like come and helped with the shows. And I think that's just a really good program because I really like my favorite thing about this is the fact that we give a space for young women to like embrace a whole bunch of different aspects of like who they are, from like stage presence to interviewing to like scholastic excellence, which is something that particularly drew me into this. So as you can see here from some of those bullet points, like some of the things that I talked about are actually very true of the stuff that's like listed here on the slide. So like you'll have the opportunity to like participate in local parades, which I did while I was the Distinguished Young Women of Michigan. It was really cold, but it was fun. I had like this jazzy blue coat that I had because it was for a holiday parade. And then you'll also, like I said, have the ability to like put it on your college application. And it does mean something because Distinguished Young Women, as just like a national organization, is a recognized name because it's been established for so long and they have so many different partnerships and opportunities for women that participate in the program. Listing it on your resume and LinkedIn. I have that like included on my LinkedIn. And then there's also the Be Your Best Self program, which is really great for helping you like embody all the different components of the program that we talk about and actually help you like put them into practice. And then of course, when it comes to like landing your future jobs, like all the Distinguished Young Women participants have to grow up, right? And then they eventually end up in the workforce, as I sort of mentioned, like the already existing network. And just in general, like I remember there were some other like previous Distinguished Young Women of Michigan that like attended the University of Michigan as well. So they were just like helpful even before I got to the career stage of things, just like asking them, you know, questions about like college and like when I was making my college decision, just like what their experiences were at Michigan. But then, like I said, once you sort of like go beyond that college realm, like you'll still find a network when it comes to like different careers, and everyone has all sorts of backgrounds, which I also think is really cool and appreciate as well. And I think the program emphasizes on like you being able to be you and then like achieve the best form of that, which is like achieved through the Be Your Best Self program. And then the best, like the core thing, which may be why you are here today, is all the different scholarship opportunities. So there are specific colleges that will offer like full rides or like tuition. There's like different packages for different partnerships that a Distinguished Young Woman has that you could be eligible for if you just like participate in the program or if you make it to nationals. And there are many students who will, or excuse me, sorry, thinking in the academic terms, but there are many young women who will take advantage of those things because, you know, it's great to be able to attend school and not have to worry about funding. And like, as I mentioned, I took classes over the summer, and like, if you have any existing scholarships, sometimes like the schools will only limit them like to the academic school year, but through some other different awards that the program gives, I was able to like pay for those things during the summer, which was so relieving as I just like saw the credits I was taking and the bill going up, but I was like, oh, I can just use the money from Distinguished Young Women and that will cover the tuition that I have for the summer. And then there's also a lot of different like workshops, from interview, which is a lifelong skill. And I can tell you right now, as a college student who is like on the tail end of things in terms of finishing up college, because I'm a senior now, like you always use interview skills. It's very relevant. And when you start talking about going into a professional setting, it's interview after interview after interview. But by doing this early on, you can get really comfortable for it because there's already so many adjustments you have to make when you get to college. And then even when you're in college, you're just learning about so much. And it's really nice to know that like, if you need to do an interview for like any other like nominations or awards that you get like throughout your academic process, or just in terms of like getting internships or like doing different summer programs, like it's really nice to know that like the first time when you need to do these things, it will not be your first time because you've been with this program, and the skills that they teach you, like I said, are very relevant, applicable, if not exactly what you, if not, it's like basically exactly what you need to know to prep yourself for interviews. So yeah, unfortunately, as you get older, people ask you more questions and the expectations get higher. So there's I think this program does a good job of giving you insight into those, so it's not all a shock when you get to that point, and can kind of like, you know, giving your chance, like it's a chance to grow before like things start to get, just as you just get to mature, really. And then in terms of nationals, whoever wins or is awarded Distinguished Young Woman to like out of all the representatives of the local areas, you'll be a representative for the state of Michigan, and you'll travel to Alabama next June, and then that's where nationals will take place. And like I said, so you'll have to hear more from the current Distinguished Young Women in terms of like what it's like to be in person. But I did participate in nationals. It was just virtual, and I appreciated the experience because there was a lot going on during that time. So the fact that nationals was even held I thought it was really nice and thoughtful that they still allowed us to like have the experience. So I'm still very appreciative of the program.
And Maria, can I just briefly interrupt? My name is Jan Whitty, and I'm the chairperson for the Distinguished Young Women of Michigan. I just want to invite everybody. I know it's Sunday night. We probably had a long weekend, plus the clock's turned back. But we want to encourage everyone to please turn your cameras on and feel free to ask questions as the presentation goes through. You don't have to wait to the very end. Okay, thanks, Maria.
Okay, of course. And you can still see my screen, right? I hope so. Okay. Because, oh, there we go.
You can see it. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so now a little bit more about me specifically, but in terms of like how I ended up participating in this program. So I had actually heard about it from a participant who had done it back when I was like early on in high school. And they were just like telling me how they really enjoyed the program because it focused on scholastics and that there was opportunity for scholarships. And, you know, of course, money is always nice, especially if it's going to be paying your way for college for and so I kind of like set my sights on participating on it because I think at the time when I heard it, I was like a freshman in high school and I was like, oh, I'm not old enough for that yet. So I just like kept it in the back of my mind so that I could apply for it. And then when it finally happened, I like applied and everything. I was really excited to do it just because the way that it had been described to me was just like this really great opportunity that was like celebrating young women being smart. And at the same time, there was still this element of like being able to be on stage and things like that. And I had like also participated in pageants, but if you are like aware of what pageants are, this is not like a pageant. And that's like one thing that I really appreciate. So like, I like that you get to be on stage, but at the same time, I just think like the focus of like other aspects of your identity get highlighted more, like the fact that academics is weighed a little bit more. And also I think maybe like on stage question and things like that, which are all like life skills, like being able to talk in front of people and also just like recognizing your achievements and things are all things that are important that you carry on with you as you go along. So yeah, I enjoyed being able to have like all those aspects together. And then after I like won some of the different scholarship awards locally, and then I did like some different appearances like during my time. And then when it came to nationals, I got one of the leadership awards. And I think just we still had a community that they built. Like they had Snapchat and like Instagram group chats, and it was really cool like getting to hear about like where people were going to college and like how their college process was going. And then like when I followed people on Instagram, you could like see everyone making their announcements about where they were going to school. So like that was all really exciting, and everyone was like spread out all over. So they're just kind of like showing you how broad like the network goes. And actually when I got like to Michigan, I ended up meeting some people that participated in the Distinguished Young Women program in a different state. So she was in the same year that I did it, but didn't end up like, she wasn't one of the state representatives, but I was just like, oh my gosh, like I saw on Instagram that you said that she was like promoting Distinguished Young Women. I was like, I was also in that program. So that was pretty cool. And like, again, emphasizing the network that you create. So like we immediately had like a really good conversation because we already had that thing in common. And like I also mentioned, there was another, I think just the year above me, who also went to Michigan here, that was the representative of Michigan. And like I kept in touch with her for some like here and there, and we just kind of like see little updates on social media and things like that. So that's a little bit about like how I got involved in Distinguished Young Women, and could probably go on and on about like all the different ways that it's showed up in my life. And then I also came back and I helped with the last Michigan show, the last showcase earlier this year, I think. I don't know. This year has been really long and really short, but it was definitely earlier this year. It just feels like it was 5 years ago. But anyways, and like just helped MC with that. And it was really exciting to like talk to the girls and just like hear about what they're going to do for college. Cause it's like, I'm older, but I'm not as close to high school that like I used to be. So it was just like fun talking about that. So feel free to ask me more questions about like my experience or like how it benefited me like later on in college, or just like any suggestions about like how you can prepare, or what you should expect. Like we're going to get all into that during this presentation, but if you have things that are like relevant to the things I was mentioning earlier about myself, you are more than happy to ask me about those things. I really enjoy talking. Anyways, so what is Distinguished Young Women? So Distinguished Young Women is proud to be the oldest and largest scholarship program in the nation for college-bound high school senior girls. So since 1958, the program has awarded more than 120 million in cash scholarships at local, state, and national programs. And it was formerly known as America's Junior Miss Program. And like during that time, you'll see that like people have crowns, but now we get medallions. And you can read more on Distinguished Young Women, like the program in general, because they do these programs all over the nation on their website. So another fun and amazing fact about DYW is that they have given over $1 billion in college scholarship opportunities just to the class of 2023, and some of which included full tuition plus room and board. So as I was mentioning when we first started this presentation, there are specific like college partnerships that Distinguished Young Women has, one of the biggest ones being with the University of Alabama. So you will see like sometimes a number of women going down there just because of the scholarship opportunities. And I think Albion is one of the scholarship partnerships that they have in the state of Michigan. And you can also go on their website and it has a list of like all the different colleges that are linked to DYW. And you can also, it should, I think in a brief overview, give you like what the package is, but it can change from year to year. But you can see like, I think previous year's information on the website as well. So now leading back into the Michigan specific DYW finals. So it's going to be 2 days and it's going to be held February 2nd and 3rd. Of next year, and it'll be in Westland, Michigan. And then the final showcase is going to be Saturday evening, February 3rd at John Glenn High School. So a little bit more specifically about the elements of the program that you'll be participating in, and the criteria that will decide like who the representative of Michigan will be, is you have a scholastic portion. And so that's like a resume, your academic transcripts that you guys will submit. And that's something that does not happen on stage. So you'll turn that paperwork in prior to all of the stage components that you have, which I'll lead into next. So there's that's 25% of your total score. Then there's 25% interview, which also is not something that happens on stage, but that will happen before the stage components as well. And you'll go in and you'll talk with interviewers one-on-one, and it will just be you in the room, and they will ask you about yourself, which was really nice. And that's also how typical career interviews go when you get into talking about like doing internships or getting like a full-time job. So I really value the interview portion of things. And then the stage components are performing arts talents, which is going to be 90 seconds. And then you have fitness, and there's like a whole routine, and they give you the choreography for. And I remember when I like participated in the program, we all really bonded around how rigorous, I think that's probably the best word to put it, that these routines are. And they're actually really helpful because you could practice these routines like as a workout, and it would be a great use of your time and a good way to work out. So it's a lot of fun kind of working through getting yourself ready to put it on stage, because it really helps with your form, which is important for when you're actually exercising. So I also find that like a very helpful part. And then it's 15% self-expression, where you'll wear like a nice formal attire. It can either be like a pantsuit or a dress that's around knee length, and you'll get asked an onstage question, and then you'll answer. And I don't believe that there's a time limit on how long you have to answer, but yeah, the 3 onstage components are the performing arts talent, and also more details on that is that it can be anything that you can perform on stage. So there are people that have done like martial arts. You could do spoken word. It doesn't just have to be like the traditional playing an instrument, dancing, or singing. Like you can do as long as it can be performed on stage. It's a very like broad category, and just like make it entertaining, you can do that. When for states and for nationals, I played the violin. And then, like I said, fitness and self-expression, and then scholastics and interview are all things that happen before you do those 3 components. So the final showcase is that's what those 3 things are gonna make up. And you will also, just really quickly, there's opportunities to win scholarships for each of those categories. So like when I participated in the program, I got a scholarship for interview, scholastics, and I think self-expression. Okay, so then more on like the Be Your Best Self program. So for the state program, each participant, you can write a 2-page essay about the Be Yourself program, because there are like specific bullet points or just sort of that will describe to you online like what the Be Your Best Self program is. And you want to emphasize in your essay community service. And if you turn in that 2-page essay, you'll get a $50 college scholarship. And the winner so like the best person who's out of all the essays will receive a $250 scholarship. So just really quickly to go over like what the message of Be Your Best Self means, and it's often called like BYBS for short, is you want to use your personal experience and unique talents to inspire leaders of the future. And the specific pillars of that are like be healthy, be involved, be studious, be ambitious, be responsible. And those are like the core components that make up what Be Your Best Self is. And then these are some pictures of like the fitness on stage component. So we have like these cute little numbers that we'll put on. Everyone will be in coordinating outfits. And there's always some sort of push-up or plank in them, which you can kind of see down here in the lower one. And like I said, it really helps with your form, because when you exercise, form is important, and you realize like, oh, maybe like I shouldn't have my hips so high in the air when I do my push-up, and they actually like need to be level. So it's very helpful. And then, like I said, when you're on stage with everybody, like just the energy is really fun and exciting. And they always have like some fun choreo, like upbeat music for you to do it to. So you can kind of think more about dancing, and then it's like, oh, I'm like not even exercising. But I definitely think that it's very helpful and informative to do. And it's definitely an experience for like everyone that does it. Like it was an experience for me just because, you know, it's not typically something that you do, but it was fun and it keeps things interesting. So yeah, you'll be given an outfit for that as well. Like you won't have to pick out your own exercise outfit, as you can see here with like everyone coordinated. And then for talent, these are some like pictures from nationals with like everybody doing their little thing. You can see one person is playing the piano. There's also like dancing and singing. But like I said, you can really be creative and think outside the box. As long as you can present it, you can do that. Because I like have given spoken word or like monologues. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do. There's also like, if you're a baton twirler, you can do that. I know there's also like some other fun, like, I mean, there's just so much. So as long as you can do it on stage, like you should do it. And then this is self-expression. So these are just some examples as to like what the dress code is. So you can see here, as I mentioned, like knee-length dresses, and there's sort of been like a change that you can also wear like a pantsuit as well, but you just want something that's like nice and formal to present yourself in. When I did this, I just sort of wore like a homecoming type dress, but I think that the progression of overall like expectations for the dress code has kind of been changing a little bit over the years. And we can talk more on that, but the expectation is that like it would probably be a little bit more toned down from like a homecoming style dress, and more just so formal in nature. And so these are just like some examples of those things. So it can either be a dress, like I said, or a pantsuit. And most of these pictures are from nationals, except for this one on the left-hand side, which is from one of the state programs. So speaking of clothes, some more requirements for each of the categories. So for the self-expression portion, which is like where you're going to go on stage and you're going to answer a question, like I said, it's a knee-length evening dress or a pantsuit. So no ball gowns, no like full-length dresses. So if you're thinking prom, that's not the dress type. It has to be a short dress. And then for interview, it's a job, right? You're going into interview for a job, so you should dress like it. So business attire is expected, and that's like the dress code. So it can either be dress or it can be pants, but as long as it's professional business attire. And then for the on stage talent portion, it's whatever is appropriate for the talent that you're given. Just make sure to keep it like appropriate, because I know some outfits for certain things, you just have to watch the maturity on it. But yeah, just keep that in mind, making sure that like it's fitting for the context. And then for the workout clothing, for the fitness portion, for practice rehearsals, you'll want to wear workout clothing, and then you'll also want to have like gym shoes, both for the practices and for the rehearsals, but you will be given an outfit for like the actual fitness presentation when you go on stage. So things that you need to do leading up to the program, which is going to be February 2nd and 3rd, where the showcase, so all the components that you do on stage will be on the 3rd. So you'll do like other things the day before. And so the things that you want to do is you want to apply online at DYW.org before December 15th. So I know November is kind of flying past us. So make sure to do that. And then you have to attend a virtual orientation, which is on January 7th of next year at 6 p.m. And this is required. So make sure after you go and apply online that you mark this in your calendars. And then you want to, after that, be preparing everything that you need for the program. So getting your 90-second talent presentation together. If you also need to be watching your email for any additional information, which you will be getting prior to the state finals weekend, and then plan to arrive in Westland, Michigan on Friday, February 2nd at 10 a.m. to start rehearsals. And if you need any like accommodations, because I understand that people are coming from all around the state of Michigan, if you need any sort of housing accommodations, there are opportunities that where the program can support you in that, and you can ask questions if that is an option that you need. There are like host families that are available in the area that you can stay with overnight if you're coming from like a really far away place, so we can support you there. And then in terms of rehearsal, it's a great opportunity to meet other people and have new friends. Like we had our group chat when I took this, and like we talked for a while and kind of like checked in with each other and like how we were doing. So it's nice to have people from like across the state that you get a chance to meet with. And I think social media is a great way to keep up with people and just kind of like see where they're at, in addition to like text and any other like chats that you guys will set up over your time. So yeah, it's really an opportunity to like meet other people and like have fun and just kind of like hear from each other. So like, yes, while you're rehearsing for the show, it's really a community bonding time. And then on February 3rd in the morning, you will have your interview with the judges, because like I said, the interviews do not happen on stage. They happen prior to doing the on stage components. And then the final showcase will be that later in the evening at 6 p.m. at John Glenn High School. So invite your family and your friends to come watch you and the rest of the young women perform and just see all the great work that you've put in from now up until then. So again, here is the link that you want to use to apply for Michigan. And so you visit, like I said, distinguishedYW.org. And then from there, you'll click out the apply button and you'll put in your name, your phone number, all of that information that you typically see on a form. And then once you receive confirmation and approval, you'll fill out the health form. And then there are some academic forms that you'll need to give to your school counselor to get transcripts and things like that. So make sure that you are communicating with those people in an appropriate time so that you can have all your papers ready before the deadline that they are needed. All right, so Victoria, if you want to go on ahead and wrap things up and share your story with Distinguished Young Women.
Okay, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. It says my internet's unstable. Okay, perfect. So about a year ago today, my dance teacher had brought up this program. She did this as a local winner, I think like around the 1980s. So sharing her experience with me and seeing that she wanted her students to still be a part of the program showed how amazing this had impacted her life. last year around this time, I had struggled a lot with interview skills and public speaking, and I wanted to pursue this journey in hopes of progressively gaining more confidence in my public speaking skills. So January or February came around when the state program began, and I was lucky enough to be one of the first programs back in person after COVID. So all the participants got together. We spent the weekend at a host family's house, and all aspects of the program were in person, which I think not only brought the contestants closer together, but it allowed us to get to perform together on stage. And we got to perform in talent, self-expression, and fitness. And once the state program was completed, I spent my time prior to nationals doing lots of interview prep and practicing my self-expression and my talent, while also doing a lot of leadership opportunities, particularly promoting the Be Your Best Self program, which is a way to encourage young women like us all how to live a healthier and stronger lifestyle. And then within a couple of months, I flew down to Mobile, Alabama, alongside the other representatives. There was a representative from every single state in America, which I think was such an amazing aspect of the program. We spent a little under 2 weeks there. We did rehearsals like almost every single day, while also getting to spend dinners in different little restaurants that are unique to the program. We did a beach day, which I think was very fun. And all of us girls kind of bonded over the fact that it was like a little girls' trip, while also having the rehearsals. And then after nationals in August, I went over to Wisconsin for their DYW program, where Jan was practically my mom for the weekend. And I spent a day there getting to share my experience prepping for nationals and heading down to Alabama with one of my fellow DYW friends, Erin. And overall, looking back at the whole experience, I'm so beyond grateful I was introduced to this program for helping me to develop a much stronger confidence in my public speaking skills. And beyond just my public speaking skills, once I came back from nationals in July, I truly believe being around such talented young women for the span of those 2 weeks helped strengthen my confidence and maturity in all aspects of both the DYW and the Be Your Best Self programs. And I had talked to many sponsors while in Alabama, which were has-beens, which are like alums of the program. And they all had such inspirational stories to share with me, as well as such bright futures following their time as distinguished young women. And I also had the honor of winning 2 scholarships at nationals in both fitness and talent, as well as the state program. And these scholarships have benefited me significantly starting my college experience. As an aviation major, these scholarships will help me significantly in the next few years as I begin flying and building my hours in hopes of one day joining the airlines. And with all of that being said, I'm so excited for you all to be a part of this program, and I can assure you all that this experience as a whole will help you in all aspects of your life, especially in your near future as you begin your journey in college. So I'm so happy you guys are all here, and I can't wait to meet you guys in person.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you, Maria, and thank you, Victoria, for everything, for hosting. Are there any questions at all? Certainly, you can email michigan@distinguishedYW.org if you have any questions and want to reach out. That email goes to Jan, who is our state chairperson. And we also have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and you can find videos on a YouTube page. So look for those. Again, all of the information you need to join is at distinguishedYW.org and then /Michigan, and you'll see all of the details. So thank you all for joining. Jan, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I know, Corinna, I know you've already gone online and applied. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so I know you've already applied and you've already been accepted. Can you just tell us what school you go to and where you're from.
I'm from White Lake, Michigan, and I go to Milford High School.
Okay, great.
That's good.
And then, Erin, are you possible? Can you turn your camera on, or at least let us know where you're from and what high school you attend? There you go.
Yeah, so I'm from Saline, Michigan, so I go to Saline High School.
Excellent. And Erin, have you gone to the website yet, or was today your first time kind of finding out about the program?
Yeah, I went to the website and I just got the confirmation email like a few days ago.
Okay. Were you the one that had to remind me? Thank you, Erin. I appreciate that. So with everything moving forward, once you come to the website and we confirm you, you need to just make sure you let us know like you are interested, like Karina did. So Erin, after today too, just let us know that, yes, you want to do it, to confirm it, and then I'll continue to send you information. I appreciate Maria and Victoria being here. They're both great examples of what the Distinguished Young Women is like. Maria attends the University of Michigan, which is a far better school than Victoria attends. Victoria, show the shirt, Ohio State, get out of here. So we have a little rivalry going, but it's just great examples of what our program does for the young women: scholarship opportunities, growth, networking. We want to make this simple for you, and we want to make it a great process. So we try to take things a little bit at a time. So don't get too overwhelmed by everything. We kind of laid everything out. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them at any time. So you could do it during today's event, or you could always send an email to the Michigan email address, and I'll respond back to you, and we'll try to get everything moving forward. So we're prepared for the scholarship program in February. And our deadline is December 15th. So if you have any other friends that you think would be a great participant, it's really a lot more fun when you know more girls in the program, and you can help each other practice different elements of the program. So feel free to invite other friends, or just have them, go to the website and kind of find out for themselves what it's about. And the other thing I did just want to clarify too is, if you do go to the website and look up the Be Your Best Self program, that kind of explains all the scholarship opportunities. So being studious is part of our scholastics evaluation, where you can earn scholarship money. And you can earn scholarship money just based on your scholastics that you've already done. Being healthy is part of Be Your Best Self. That's why we have this lovely fitness routine, which everybody loves so much, right? Victoria, Maria? Rocket. There you go. So that's kind of ties back to the Be Your Best Self program. And performing arts talent is just kind of about being a well-rounded individual. And interview skills are just great to talk about community service, which is really important. So all those elements of scholarships tie into the program. And you can earn scholarships on your physical fitness routine. You can earn scholarships based on performing arts. So there's a lot of opportunities to earn scholarship money. And then, as both Maria and Victoria said, we select a representative that goes on to the national program that Victoria was lucky enough to do in person this past June in Alabama, meet some other amazing young women. And we were very proud of Victoria for earning top scholarship for her performing arts talent, beautiful dancer, and also physical fitness, because she did a great job on stage. We loved it. And Maria did great. She was a virtual program, but earned a leadership scholarship. And we were very proud of her for that as well. Are there any questions, Erin or Karina, that you have for us at this time? All right. Well, I just want to thank everybody again. Yes, Victoria?
I was just going to add on, I will give my email to Jan as well to make sure that you guys can contact me for any questions about this year's program as well.
Great. Excellent. Well, thank you again for everyone for attending. And I want to thank our presenters today, Maria and Victoria. And we want to thank Peggy for putting everything together. She's our social media chair. And Pamela Curtis has been very quiet. is our judges chairperson, and she's actually, or Pamela, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the program?
I'm Pam Miller Curtis, and I'm an old has-been, as they spoke of. I was in the America's Junior Miss program way back in 1975. I was the first runner-up to America's Junior Miss that year after being the state winner, and won substantial scholarships in doing that with national awards and my first runner-up status there. That put me all through my entire university career at the University of Michigan. I'm a physical therapist, a pediatric physical therapist. I own a private practice that I've owned for a number of years and have a staff of about 35 that work for me. And the program meant so much to me that I've continued to give back as a choreographer, as an MC, and have sat on the state board in a variety of positions over the years. So it's really worthwhile, and you do make friendships that last a lifetime. And the impact of the program goes on from year to year to year and from decade to decade. So I highly encourage you to participate. I'm sure it will give back to you in some way or another.
Thank you, Pam. All right, well, we'll let you go for Sunday evening, but thank you again for joining us. And Erin, if you can just shoot me an email to confirm that you want to participate, and then I can send you that follow-up email, and then just look for periodic emails coming through with more information so you can do everything just a step at a time. All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll
Thank
see
you.
everyone soon.
Take care. Thank you.
And I have to ask you a quick question.
Yes.
Oh, wait, hold on. The meeting's still recording.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I can stop that. Hold on.
Eh.